So the next step in the process is to graph out our bivariate data. Right here we're using a table with columns and rows. Now, why did I write letters? Any of the letters that have this little scribble, which means it's shaded in, basically is showing the total for that column or that row. Any of the shaded boxes are showing data for one variable. As we can see here, for here, M represents the total amount of flying people. It doesn't look for gender. Here, L is looking for the total males, which isn't looking for superpower. However, the boxes that aren't shaded in, these letters represent joint frequencies, which basically is a cross-section between a row and a column. So H is representing the males that would choose to freeze time. D is representing the females that would choose super strength. So it's looking at two variables, the gender and the superpower picked. So now I inserted the data that we found before from the 450 people surveyed. What this data shows us is that the trend is they're about the same males as females surveyed, so it's not specifically aimed at one gender. We can see that some powers have about the same males as females that pick that power, and we can see some powers are overwhelmingly male or overwhelmingly female. So that doesn't really answer our question yet, because there really isn't a definitive answer. Some powers show yes, that there is a gender preference, and some powers show no gender preference. So the next thing we're going to try is we're going to try and find the relative frequency of each box. The relative frequency takes the data from each specific box and it puts it over our total amount of people of 450. So literally for each box, we're going to take the number that's there and we're going to put it over 450, and then we're going to convert that to a percentage. So when we put 49 over 50, we're going to have 0.109. Now, to make this easier for me, I'm going to convert this to a percentage. 0.109 is going to convert to 10.9%. And then I'm just going to convert the rest of the boxes. So I just found out every single percentage, and now we're starting to see notable differences among certain powers. There's a definite difference between super strength, as we kind of saw before, because there used to be only one female and 25 males for super strength. Flying, we can see a pretty similar percentage. Freeze time is a higher percentage for male, and telepathy has definitely a higher percentage for females. And then overall, freezing time, flying, and telepathy are our highest grossing superpowers. Now, by the way, we still found that the percentages vary, so this still doesn't really give us a definitive answer about if there is a gender preference for specific superpowers. So let's say I was making a comic strip and we were trying to figure out, okay, which superpower is the best power to put into my comic? Well, right off the bat, I would probably say, yeah, let's do freeze time because it's 29% of people. But is freeze time really the best? Because honestly, you're catering more towards a male population than a female population. What if I want the comic to be around both? Well, the next highest percentage is telepathy, but that caters more towards a female percentage. So that doesn't really help either. But is it worth doing flying? Well, if you're doing flying, yes, it's the next highest percentage, but that really doesn't cover most people. But still, the data really isn't showing us a clear answer of is there male or is there a female preference. So we're going to have to try another route. Hey, thanks for watching this Crash Course video. To watch the previous video in this series, click here. To watch the next video in this series, click there. If you want to request a video, make sure you put it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video.